I have 8 questions. You get 3 rolls, and whatever we roll, that's what I'm asking you to start. 8 is called Never Again. What is something that you did for a role that now makes you say, I am very glad I did that, but never again?
I don't think that I've had anything. I think like the most dramatic thing that I did was put on like 20 pounds and cut off all my hair, but I loved it. And like the process of becoming another person was just so fulfilling as an actor that I would fully do it again.
Roll number 2. This is the one I wanted to ask you. We're calling this one Scary Movie Survival. So between what you just said earlier, and I did a little Instagram stalking and I saw that you went to Knott's. So hopefully this sets up this question in a way that makes sense. But could you survive a horror movie?
I love being scared, but when I know it's fake scared, like not a real killer running after me with a chainsaw, I want to say yes. I feel like I do really well under pressure and I think really quick on my feet, but who knows?
Those all sound like qualities you need to have. I feel like you're on the right track.
Yeah, I would hope.
All right, you got one more here. All right, we're going with a 2. Number 2.
Oh my God, I'm such a witch. I said it's going to be 2.
I kind of love the witchy vibes that are happening here. Those are my kind of vibes. So number 2, which was meant to be, is called Game Show. If you could be on the game show of your choice, what show would you pick and why?
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to be on any of the reality shows that I watch. Like I'm a big Bachelor Nation fan, but I don't really want to be on it. But I don't know, maybe like Ninja Warrior, but like not Ninja Warrior, because as I look at my nails, I'm like, I don't want to break a nail. But something that has to do with athletic capabilities.
Okay. I would do anything to be on Ninja Warrior, but it's not possible because I have absolutely no upper body strength. So can never be my answer.
You can work on that. If that is the dream, you can do anything.
I've tried. I think it's string bean arms for life, though. These are our Would You Rather questions. They're all filmmaking related. They're a little silly.
Love it.
First, would you rather have to fake sneeze or fake vomit in a scene?
Maybe fake sneeze. It's less messy.
Less messy, but have you thought about how difficult it is to do a convincing fake sneeze?
No, it's gone. I'm sorry.
That might have been one of the best fake sneezes I've ever gotten to that question. Very smart play there.
And do you love how I never actually sneezed? Break the mold.
Perfect. You officially won that question. I don't think I might have to retire that question. Would you rather have to run a lot in a scene or eat a lot in a scene?
Well, it depends. Is the food good?
Well, the food could be good, but is a spit bucket like a realistic option, or does that just make it worse?
I've actually used a spit bucket when I was probably 9 years old. I filmed a Reese's cereal commercial, and they had me eating so much cereal that towards the end I was fully spitting it out into a spit bucket.
I mean, I kind of like that cereal, but I can't imagine how much you had to eat of it for a commercial.
I just really don't like running. Unless I'm being chased, and then it's like really fun and exciting.
All right, you could survive the horror movie, but we don't need to deal with it otherwise.
Exactly.
So let's say you were cast as the lead in a spy movie. Would you rather have your spy be like James Bond or be like Austin Powers?
James Bond never had any musical numbers, so I guess Austin Powers, because you gotta have a musical number.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for a brand new episode of Collider Ladies Night. I am so thrilled to welcome Vanessa Hudgens to the show. Hello, and how you doing?
I'm doing good, doing great.
Happy spooky season to you.
Yeah.
All right, so jumping ahead now to the very first feature film credit, which happens to be a personal favorite, Catherine Hardwicke's 13, which is an excellent movie. So you did have some on-screen experience before you did that film, but was there anything about making your first movie that when you hit that set just really surprised you or maybe required a learning curve of sorts?
I feel like I did that movie when I was 13. And I was very much about, I guess, going against the grain. I wanted to like be cooler than I was. And I wanted to like have my own sense of style. And I show up to set wearing makeup and I did my hair and I had like a cute little fit on. And Catherine Hardwicke saw me and she was like, oh, we got to take that all off. And I was just like, but I feel cute. And then I had to like be the nerdy best friend. But I just remember like the contrast between the person that I was and the person that I was playing was so drastic, especially for a 13-year-old.
You know, I got to hit next. We're up to High School Musical. So I was wondering with that one, just what your experience was like sticking with a character for 3 films. Is there anything about having a lengthy run with Gabriella that maybe taught you something that you could use should you get involved or when you got involved with another film series?
I feel like that was a period of my life where I was trying to figure out who I was. You know, I think I was 15 when I shot the first one. And I was just so over the moon about working and for work to be what I love and what I was so impassioned by, that it just came so naturally. You know, I feel like I really pulled a lot of who I was into that. And because it was coming from such an authentic place, it just carried through and resonated.
High School Musical, huge success. I'm curious how that first film changed your goals. Like at that point, before the movie was released, what did you picture like making it as? What was your end goal? And then how did the success of that movie maybe change that? Because I would imagine that that movie opened doors that you didn't even realize were there before.
I always gravitated to the dark and the weird. And High School Musical wasn't really dark or weird. It was very commercial and bright and poppy and uplifting. And while, of course, I love those things and it's an amazing message and wonderful things to spread, that was never really the game plan for me. I kind of envisioned myself as the serious, dramatic indie actress playing all the super tough, gritty, hard parts. And High School Musical came along and I obviously gained success from that. And you know, I think it was really easy for people to put me in a box and it made it a lot harder for me to go after the things that I really wanted, which was still those really gritty, tough, dramatic roles. And I learned how to say no very quickly and be really selective about what I was going to do next. And I'm so grateful that I've had a team that's been so supportive and really allowed me to go after my dream.
So post High School Musical, was there any particular project that you did that made you think to yourself, you know, this is what I want the industry to see me as, and it's working now?
I mean, I feel like Spring Breakers definitely hit the nail on the head because obviously it is those things that I love. It's dark and it's weird and it's a wild ride. And of course, Harmony Korine, who is such an icon, working alongside of him. And then Benoit, our DP, who has like worked with Gaspar Noé on most of his films. And it was just like that world that I've wanted to be in so badly. I finally was in and people were taking notice and associating me with that. And that was just a really wonderful moment for me to be like, okay, I finally did it. Like it took me a while to get there and it might've taken me longer than I originally planned because while High School Musical was a push forward, it was also a step back in the direction of where I wanted to go, but not upset about it at all.
I think I'm backtracking with this if I have my years right, but Sucker Punch, that is just like a big, beautiful movie. So was there anything you remembered filming for that one that, I don't know, made you say on set, like, I cannot believe I'm here surrounded by all of this right now?
Constantly. I mean, even the audition, I remember getting the sides for it and seeing that it was Zack Snyder film, and I was obsessed with 300. I remember going to the theaters when we were shooting High School Musical and seeing that with the cast and just being so inspired by that. And I was like, man, I would love to do something like that. And then I was like, you mean it's a all like female cast that's badass and empowered and ready to save the day? I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. And the training that we endured for that film was, I mean, it could have been a movie of its own. My first day, I show up and all the girls are there and we're doing circuit training and we were doing static holds. And I was not the fittest at that time. I don't think I had ever trained so hard in my life, but we had to do these holds. And if you let go or lost the hold, you had to start over, but the entire group had to start over. And I remember I was doing these ring holds. I couldn't hold it. I let go and they're like, okay, again. And I was like, we're seriously going to do it again. Okay. And then so I did it and like starting to get exhausted and I couldn't hold on. I let it go. They're like, again. And I started bawling and I was just like, this is so crazy, but so amazing to be pushed so far and to build this camaraderie with women. They're like, you got it, V, you got it. It's all good. Like, we got you. It just really set the tone for the whole film.
Let's get into My Little Pony, A New Generation now. First off, how does an opportunity like this for you even pop up? Are you approached for the role or are you seeking out an animated opportunity?
I feel like I've been telling my reps for years. I was like, everyone tells me I should be doing voiceover. And nothing would happen. And I was like, okay, it's fine. They just don't want me to. But then this came up and my manager sent it over to me. He's like, let me know if you have any interest. And I was like, are you serious? Like, are you actually asking if I have interest? Because you should just say yes. I was so excited. And then once I started reading the scripts and learning about the story and the character, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
This movie here it's largely about the problem of refusing to understand someone who's different and shutting them out without ever giving them a chance. So wait until I spin this into an acting question right now.
Love it. Wow.
What is an example of something you refused to try because of the assumptions that you made about it, whether it was a certain type of role, a prep technique, anything at all, but then you actually did it for the first time and it made you say, I was wrong about that. And now I'm glad I did it.
I've always been very open to taking other people's advice or tips. I think that the one that probably helped me the most is like relaxation. But I was in a workshop and they made us all lay down on the ground and focus on our bodies and just try to take note of any place that we were holding tension and breathing light, whatever color we want, into that place. And it really just connects you with your body and like your nervous system's calmed down and almost puts you into a meditative state. And then from there, you can come from a place of truth. And I was always like, I'm not just gonna lay down like before I see on the ground and like breathe. But I did it when I had a chemistry read with J-Lo, because obviously, as you would be, I was nervous. And they had me waiting in a room and I just had a little like ding, and I was like, gonna lay down on the ground. And I laid down and I breathed into my body and I walked into the room just feeling so calm and level so that me and her could connect on such a real way. And I remember we did our scene together and we were both like crying, and like the fact that she gave that to me when she was off camera, it was just a chemistry read. But we connected so deeply that I really do think that the breathing helps you out.
All right, we have hit the end of Ladies Night. We always end with the same two questions. First one is, can you name someone who you think is changing this industry for the better?
First person that pops up into my mind is Carla Gugino, only because personally, she is such a wonderful woman for so many reasons. She's extremely talented, extremely hardworking, but just as a woman, she's sensual and intelligent and just kind of like everything that like I have always wanted to be, and working with her really just like opened my eyes to all the things that I could be. And like she will always stick out to me as a woman who has majorly influenced me.
I am so happy you brought her up. I am such a huge fan of hers. They're going to kick me out. So I got to wrap this up. I'll save that last one and I'll put it in my back pocket for the next time we talk for another release. Vanessa, thank you so much for hanging out with us on Ladies Night. It was a pleasure, and happy spooky season to you.
Yeah, you too.
Yes.